We finally have some new news about the Blizzard survival MMO, and word on the street is it's got a fat cock.
All right, it's been a little over a year and a half now since Blizzard revealed that they were working on a brand new survival game set in a whole new universe, their first new IP since the days of Overwatch. At the time of this announcement, it appeared that the game was in full production as they were hiring to fill numerous development positions. Outside of those job listings, though, which do admittedly reveal quite a bit about the game, Blizzard themselves haven't made any additional public announcements or shared many new details. But that hasn't stopped us from learning quite a lot. Initially, thanks to some early leaks from people who claim to have seen the game running in action, we learned, maybe unsurprisingly, that Blizzard's new survival game would share much in common with other survival games. Titles like Valheim, Rust, Grounded, and Ark all set the template for what Blizzard has in mind. Sandbox elements will be at the core of the experience. We will be gathering resources, crafting weapons and tools, and building bases, all while also going out into the wilderness and engaging in a variety of both PvE and PvP. That is the base foundation that Blizzard plans to build from, of course, on top of that, adding their own visual style, features, gameplay polish, monetization, and most certainly all
a battle pass before you can play the game. You know, a microtransaction here, a microtransaction here. It's the Blizzard works, baby.
So streamlining the experience for a more mainstream audience than what typically is drawn to survival-style games. We know that Blizzard's new survival game has been in some form of development since 2017, so about 6 years now. Now this info comes thanks to project lead Craig Amai's LinkedIn page, which states that he began working on the title in July 2017. Although what we don't know is how much of these last 6 years were spent in pre-production, the basics and concepts of the game, but not really piecing it all together. That said, it does seem very likely that the game's been in full production for 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years. And I say that because as of last year in 2022, the game was in a playable state. People saw it running and were actually able to sit down and play it. We officially learned about this back in January 2022 when Blizzard's president, Mike Ibarra, said that he had played many hours of the project himself and was incredibly excited about their vision. And then unofficially, Jez Corden of Windows Central and the Xbox 2 podcast discussed on a few occasions having seen an early build of the game and then going on to share some details, which he said that the gameplay bits he saw showcased all of the expected survival features. There were building mechanics with player constructed bases, complex machinery, and crafting stations. All of these structures having
Oh, come on. No one cares about that. We want to know, is the game looking good? Is the game feeling good? Is it bare bones? How far is it? What's the sauce? We don't care about it, about the small details. Like, it's a survival game. Yeah, go chop a tree. Now make an axe. Now chop a tree faster. We expect that. We're not idiots. We know that's a part of it. Like, we want details, boy.
A bit of a fantasy fairy tale twist to their appearance. There were also mercantile mechanics similar to like old school MMOs, but also things like Albion Online and Fallout 76 where players could set up their own vendor stations, like getting potion shops, for example, where they would craft unique recipes they had learned and then are able to sell them directly to other players.
I'm not gonna lie, comparing it to Fallout 76, not exactly a pro gamer move right there. Most people would kind of want to avoid Fallout 76. I played it 4 months ago or something like that. The game is literally still hot garbage. Yeah, they added NPCs that barely function and clip through almost everything, and they're super boring. They might as well not change anything, honestly.
All of the gameplay he saw was apparently in first person, running around with a bow and then also casting some magical spells and abilities. And then he also said that visually the game reminded him of some sort of combination of like Everwild and Fable Legends, which, you know, knowing how these two games look, that does line up with the official concept art that Blizzard has revealed for the game. But also they all share this kind of stylized nature similar to what Blizzard
still feels like World of Warcraft, though. If you look at this, I get World of Warcraft vibes. Don't know about you, but yeah, this is... Blizzard can't make anything that's not already World of Warcraft or Diablo. I'm very convinced of that. You will never find, for the rest of ever, a game that's not a new game of theirs that's not based on these games. Look-wise, style-wise, you know, whatever-wise, it's gonna be there.
the game, but also they all share this kind of stylized nature similar to what Blizzard typically does. And finally, what he said was that the gameplay he saw was in 2022, during which time the code name of the game was Odyssey. Now, with time, I have grown pretty confident in the details that Jez shared, that they are likely to be true. One of the main reasons being that he was the very first person to reveal that the code name was Odyssey, and this was later confirmed accurate by several sources. But I am reasonably sure that what he saw was the game and that what he's sharing is accurate.
Okay,
all of this really
good.
confirmed and cemented in my mind from what we are officially learning about the game from
there's literally a piece of your head like poking you in your eye. I think you should probably do something about that. That seems like an issue. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Blizzard themselves.
There we go.
Details we officially got when Blizzard first revealed the game.
Nice.
And what we know about how long it's been in development. We have gotten a ton of information and details from the various job postings on the Blizzard careers page. I've discussed some of this in the past, but there have been many new additions since we last covered the game. And I've also gone back through some of those old postings with more of a fine-tooth comb and pulled up a few new interesting tidbits there as well. And we really actually do know quite a lot about this game. I'm pretty excited about this. So first of all, we know it is almost certainly going to be an MMO of sorts. Before you jump on me, listen, all right?
I'm 100% okay with the survival MMO. I'm not gonna lie. I am 100% okay with the survival MMO. I do literally not care. I'm okay with that.
Precisely, we're expecting it to be MMO Light or a shared world game where you will be encountering other people while you play. Think along the lines of like Destiny, The Division, or Diablo 4 even, as they brought that to the ARPG genre with social spaces and parts of the world where you're more likely to see people. So,
I mean, that's cool, but for example, in Diablo 4, that time has already passed. No longer do you see people in the world. Maybe in a town, but you know.
Here is what makes this pretty clear to me. First of all, there was the original job posting that I've referenced before for the lead social designer that said successful candidates will motivate players to engage with each other in ways both competitive and collaborative, forming new bonds of friendship or rivalry. Although that's a bit vague, and that could
mostly rivalry. Got it.
Certainly just apply to like cooperative experiences like surfers where you invite your friends to play with you. But then there was this point on the points of interest designer job posting that said they were leading teams to build a AAA FPS first open world multiplayer spaces while also defining and maintaining philosophies for multiplayer gameplay spaces.
You know what? Time for a hot take. If Blizzard just makes Albion Online but in 3D, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that. A lot of people say very good things about that game. I'm very okay with that idea. Blizzard, do it.
Although you could still argue that this is just talking about a cooperative game, but this final one really just completely drives it home. This was for the lead village designer, which said ensuring it feels amazing to build things together with other players, that the growth of shared social spaces is aspirational and satisfying, and that the result of what players build together is a beautiful reflection of their accomplishments. Later on in the posting, it was said building and executing a vision for collaborative social play within shared village spaces. That almost to me just guarantees.
Okay, so let me reiterate what was just said here. Instead of you building a singular penis statue, you can make multiple as a group. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I think.
Guarantees that there are shared spaces, even if that's just like social hubs in towns, that shared spaces is a part of the game. But what really totally solidifies the whole thing for me that we're getting a shared world / MMO light kind of game is just the confirmation that this is a live service game. Yes, that is true. There was a position for live ops lead designer and many other live ops and similar things. This one in particular said, though, you will shape the long-term content, gameplay, and systemic experiences of our players. You will work with directors and lead a multidisciplinary group to build systems, tools, and content that keeps the game fresh and exciting for years to come. The fact that this is a live service game, that alone makes the idea that this is going to be a shared world MMO-like game extremely likely, as Blizzard isn't going to have a live service game without a cosmetic cash shop. Let's be real.
Obviously.
That is just the way things are currently.
That is just not Blizzard.
the way they're going to be going forward. And you don't have a cosmetic cash shop if you can't also then show that off and what you bought to other players. That plus all of those other postings about...
Yeah, imagine not buying a skin and not then being ripped on by the community for buying a skin, you loser. Oh, good times.
Designing shared multiplayer spaces, shared world towns. It's just, I'm confident that MMO Lite, akin to a Destiny, to a Diablo 4, at the very least, that is what we are going to be getting. There's a bit more that we've learned as well about what to expect from the game from these postings as it pertains to the PvE, as it pertains to the survival elements, and even confirmation, finally, I think for the first time, PvP is just... it's happening, absolutely. So let's start with the PvE side of things. So first...
Oh wait, didn't we already expect that? Wasn't that kind of known already? I don't know, I feel like that was kind of known and expected. It's like a survival... If you're making a survival, PvP is like 100% in there. It's kind of in the name, right?
First of all, we got the points of interest. The points of interest designer will be driving the creation of outstanding FPS gameplay experiences in the survival genre with a deep understanding of FPS content, gameplay, level design, and scenario design, helping to orchestrate the process of taking points of interest from concept to completion, outside of just having bog standard kind of sandboxy elements with, like, you know, you go out there, you chop trees and you harvest rocks and you gather all sorts of stuff to do crafting and build bases. Bespoke points of interest are going to be in the game, and along with this, I'm also fairly confident we are going to be getting like a questing system, that we will have factions and various things along those lines. World events have been confirmed. There was the activities designer who has to understand the importance of different combat scenarios in a AAA title and apply that logic to our ambitious project, create engaging conflicts in an open world capable of satisfying a wide range of gaming appetites.
Good.
Also a second posting for activities designer who will set out to create events that are simple, drive conflict, and fit in with the fantasy world we are creating. Experience working on an open world game. So we're going to be having open world events, public events along those lines. Points of interest play obviously directly into that. Also, dungeons and raids have been confirmed in the world designer position. They will be creating all types of spaces ranging from exterior zones, dungeons, and massive raid-like points of interest. There was also the AI encounters designer who will be guiding the delivery of fun, repeatable player encounters and also prototyping boss design. So some of the more traditional MMO elements of dungeons and raids are directly referenced in relation to this game. Also, we got further confirmation that this will be a first-person focused game. Through many different postings, we're actually bringing up that this is a really first person first and foremost, but there were also several mentions of third person as well, and that leads me to believe that there could be a toggle allowing you to go between first and third person, or there could be certain circumstances where the camera would swap from first to third person. Puzzles, we can expect that with the world designer posting. It says work together with other designers to build gameplay heavy moments such as combat encounters, narrative elements, and...
Okay, one of the things that you can expect from something like this is that this game is most likely gonna have everything that World of Warcraft has, you know, all the good parts. There's gonna be puzzles, there's gonna be cities, all of that. You know, why not take inspiration from World of Warcraft, honestly, when it comes to design choices, like, well, not design choices, but mechanic choices in the game. It just makes sense, right?
Logic puzzles. We also have confirmation that this is going to be an open world game. There were several positions mentioning creating content for open worlds, like world designer who would craft spaces that would thrive in an open world setting, or the AI designer who was asked to write rules for spawning AI in open world games. We can expect various types of biomes. The world designer position was asked to set up a macro scale with major geological formations to include mountain, forest, and bodies of water. We also know that they're going to use some form of procedural generation, with the world gen engineer asked to help build procedural world building tools in a modern engine. Please do bear in mind, though, this doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be creating Minecraft style seeds or Valheim style seeds where the entire play space is procedurally generated, because you can also use, and a lot of modern day developers do use, procedural elements to help fill out the world as they're building things, to not have to hand us.
Yeah, that's what I expected. No one fills the world with 100% like everything a person puts in. Nah, there's a really neat video you can actually watch how they make these things actually work out. It's actually a copy, you know? You have this big triangle, well, not triangle, but big square, and that square is actually a copy of other squares. Yeah, that probably made no sense. But there's really neat videos you can watch to actually understand what's going on there. Cool.
Design every blade of grass and how that's placed, or all of the trees and all the leaves that are on them. There's a lot of procedural that you can bring into games that would be considered at first glance not procedural, but there's a lot of procedural that can assist in the development, especially when creating these massive open world games. This is very common nowadays, honestly. Also, there being a story has all but been confirmed. I'm also very confident that there will be questing and quest systems and things along those lines. There's a lot of references to story and lore associated with the game.
You know what? This is starting to sound like World of Warcraft with base building but without factions. I honestly dig the idea. That sounds really fun. Okay? Yeah, you know what? Actually, super fun. Yeah. Give me a World of Warcraft but there's no alliance and there's no horde. I'm sold, baby. Not gonna lie. That sounds super good.
Probably unsurprising given that this is a Blizzard title, but I think it's worth mentioning because it's also a survival game, and survival games aren't typically known for being deeply, heavily lore and story focused. Maybe some like backstory, some world building stuff, but having actual direct story that you engage with hasn't really been a staple of the survival genre, but it looks like it might be here. There was a position for narrative director and some bullet points from that hiring. Set the narrative vision and strategy for the product, build and direct a writing and narrative design team, and maintain, safeguard, and champion the narrative. I am pretty comfortable in saying and pretty confident that there will be a big...
I wonder how many of these positions I could maybe acquire, you know, an interview in if I lied. Because all of this seems like, you know, if they ignore your previous, if they ignore work experience, this seems like it's so easy to lie your way through, you know? Interesting. Maybe I can go work at Ubisoft as an intern for, you know, a month before I get fired because they figured out I'm a male. And, you know, then just go to Blizzard because you have worked at Ubisoft. Interesting ideas.
Focus on narrative, a lot more so at least than what we are typically used to from the survival genre. So as a recap on the PvE side of things, we have got pretty concrete confirmation of there being an open world, there being world events and bespoke points of interest. Dungeons and raids are confirmed, first person primarily, puzzles, various biomes, some procedural elements, and a narrative focus. I sign off on that all of those things are going to be in the game based on what we're reading from these postings. Let's talk a bit about the confirmations we've got from these survival systems. This stuff isn't surprising, but to actually have some concrete evidence that it's going to be in the game at least puts my mind at ease. So there will be resource gathering, not surprising. The gameplay systems designer was asked to expand on our best-in-class moment-to-moment gameplay to also include a host of non-combat survival experiences. What does it mean to implement Blizzard-grade tree chopping? Why is that fun for 10,000 hours? How can players be
What do you mean Blizzard-grade tree chopping? What?
Expressive in their choice of how to approach that interaction. Now that last bit, in addition to another line here that says creating deep, repeatable interactions that are simple to learn and fun to master, I think that pretty much solidifies that the gathering and harvesting part of this game isn't going to just be like click a single button and the tree gets chopped down and the ore gets harvested. There is going to be some dynamic elements to this. Probably means it's just going to be because
if it's a first-person game, that's kind of necessary, honestly. If it's a third-person game, that is not necessary. You just need to make the animations look good. Interesting fact.
It's a first-person game. We're going to be able to direct our swings of the axe, of the pickaxe, of the scythe, or, you know, whatever, because there is simple to learn and fun to master. There's not much to master about hitting F to chop down the tree, so there's going to be at least some sort of mini games, if not directional attacks here. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that. Base building is confirmed. There is a building designer position, ensuring it feels amazing to place building pieces that players can realize their dreams of what they want to make, feel clever doing so, and that there
hot prediction time. It's gonna feel like shit at the start. It's gonna feel like shit at the start. 100% guaranteed.
Result of what players build looks as wonderful as possible. Another line in this one says, ensuring that building is experienced as a simple and straightforward tool set rich with choice, progression, and expressiveness. So a few things here. Looks like we're going to have free build. This could be floors and walls. This could be individual logs and planks. We're not sure of exactly that, but I am pretty sure from reading this that it isn't going to just be like, here is a hut and you place it down, and here is a larger hut, and here is a castle. It looks like there's going to be free build, and we're going to have a bunch of agency here, and that this is also going to include some progression systems, likely meaning we will unlock better things and new types of materials to use. For example, is you could start off with wood and then eventually go to stone and then go to ore, you know, things like that. Some sort of progression appears like it's going to be in there. And then also, speaking of progression, there will be progression systems and additional crafting systems in the gameplay systems designer role. It does mention partnering with both the progression and crafting design teams. I couldn't find individual jobs for those teams, but there are progression and crafting design teams, so there will be progression and crafting. That's kind of a no-brainer, duh, right? Now, something that I don't believe we had gotten official confirmation of as of this point, which we now do, is PvP. PvP is going to be in the game. In fact,
Again, I don't know about you, but I expected that.
There is a direct PvP combat director position who is responsible for building a compelling player combat activity vision with a special consideration towards player versus player content. They were also said to have to demonstrate a deep understanding of PvP games.
How do you... PvP means player versus player, yeah. If you're gonna hire someone to do PvP, that made no sense.
And PvP content needed in open world games adds to the notion that there is actually going to even be open world PvP in this game. I do think there could be arenas and battlegrounds or things along those lines, instance PvP as well, because for the world designer position, they were asked to create large to small PvP and AI ready play spaces, also asked to build interior and exterior PvP points of interest from inception all the way through to production. So they're building PvP designated spaces. They want to be able to craft PvP and understand PvP in open world games. Could be a variety of things. Could be, like I said, arenas and battlegrounds. It could also just mean there are specific locations within the open world where PvP happens, specific PvP areas. I mean, they even do this in Diablo 4, for example. A lot of open world games do this where they will have designated PvP locations. Something else we can be pretty confident in as well is that the game's monetization and how it's just going to fall in line with what much of AAA gaming, but more specifically what Blizzard has been doing recently. So we do know it's going to be a live service game.
We know that it's going to have things that have 8,000% value. Only a fool would not buy that much value.
As mentioned earlier, we've got that live ops lead designer position asked to help create content that keeps the game fresh and exciting for years to come. There were several other positions that directly reference a live service game, ongoing development, and supporting roles. The game almost certainly is going to follow in the footsteps of other recent Blizzard titles, so I would expect not just one and done box price and that's it. You get the game forever, right? That's not what game it is because this? It's a live service game. They're going to make us pay to keep that ongoing support going. So expect to buy the base game, expect that cosmetic shop, and likely expect a season pass.
Also expect PvP to suck because Blizzard has, again, I feel I have said this at least 2 times per week at this point for at least 2 months, but expect the PvP to suck because Blizzard has never balanced PvP in a single game properly, okay? It just doesn't happen. They're fundamentally incapable of balancing PvP.
Expect all of those things from pretty much every Blizzard game going forward, unless they buck the trend and are all of a sudden developing like a single player story game. This is what
obviously
Blizzard
not
is nowadays. These are the kind of games they're
also hot take. The next game that they're going to develop is going to be another spin-off mobile game. Because Immortal's making money, bruh. Immortal's making a lot of money. Hand over fist, my boys. So, they probably are going to develop some kind of new mobile game at some point. They're going to release it, 100% guarantee. No shot after Diablo Immortal made them so much ka-ching. They're like, yes, we can't actually improve on this thing. Haha. No, they're going to do it.
They're making ongoing support, live service, and all of the monetization associated with that. So yeah, that is a lot of detailed information about what we can expect from this game. A game that, as of this point, we still haven't even really gotten the official reveal. Although I will say, I think there's a greater than 50% chance Blizzard officially reveals the game at this year's BlizzCon, which takes place in early November. I would guess that we at least get the official reveal with a name, an actual name, and maybe some concept art. If they are truly as far along in development as we think they might be, maybe we get some gameplay as well. The long shot hope is that there was an actual playable build present at BlizzCon, but seeing as we still haven't even gotten the teaser,
no shot, right?
Teaser trailer for the thing, this feels like one of those things where Blizzard, like, last announcement on the main stage, opening day, the final thing is like a 1 to 2 minute trailer for Blizzard's new survival game, right? And then it's playable at next year's BlizzCon. That would have to be what I am assuming. But we do know that they're in full swing. I think that as much is certain. As mentioned earlier, the game's development started in 2017. Last December, during Blizzard's end of year update, they had announced that they were doubling the size of the team. And
how long does it on average currently take for Blizzard to develop a game? I think it's roughly 10 years. Or is it? No, Diablo took less. When was Diablo 3? Was it really 10 years ago? I don't know. This game is probably like at least 2 or 3 years away from completion. Maybe? Probably? Well, 2 years is also probably way too hopeful. 3 to 4 years, maybe 5. They're gonna probably push it.
In 2022, adding more people in 2023. You know, I talked about this the last time we brought this up, and I'm just pretty confident this is Blizzard's like next shot of an MMO. We've talked many times over the years about Blizzard, you know, maybe doing a WoW 2, maybe doing a World of Storm.
Oh man, I want the WoW 2. Come on, no one has time to play current World of Warcraft Classic. It's just. I don't want to grow old until I learn all the mechanics in the game that I need to know.
StarCraft or World of Diablo. I don't think those things are happening any longer. I think if they're building anything that resembles an MMO, it's going to be along the lines of this shared space, this open world, shared world thing, social spaces, and monetizing all of that with everything that we talked about. That is what I'm expecting from Blizzard. I don't expect WoW 2. WoW's just going to keep getting support. It's going to dwindle over time, but it's still pretty popular, right? I mean, it's one of the biggest MMOs out there on the market.
I think it's still the biggest, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest, right?
At least here in the West. So that traditional like 90s and 2000s MMORPG, nice. I don't know that Blizzard is in the position or has the desire to make that exact sort of...
Dude, their crafting system just kills me. Breaks twigs, hits it with a rock, arrows. That just completely kills me.
Experience again. I just don't see it happening. This is a lot more along the lines of what I expect from them, and I'm excited to see what they do with it, because if nothing else, Blizzard still has that gameplay polish. They nail it. I mean, Diablo 4, I've been playing it for the past month straight. Feels really great to play. I'm definitely...
Does it? I don't know, Chief. I wouldn't be sure about that, you know. Blizzard tried to introduce mounts. Look what happened. They literally can't move properly.
Winding down, you know, hit level 100. Not much change between level 70 and 100. I give Uber Lilith a shot, but also why? Like I don't really. Why? It's just. I don't care. I want there to be more deeper systems and a game space that has a lot new things to see continuously for months and months to come, because I felt like with Diablo 4, yeah, like once I hit like level 50, 60, but especially by the time I hit 70, it just kind of seeing the whole game. You know, you keep pushing up the nightmare dungeons, but it's all the same thing. You just die faster, and you got Uber Lilith, but that's like the one end. Uber Lilith is like the one end game activity, right? It's like everything else that we were referring to endgame for the
it's not exactly a great endgame activity. It's just overtuned.
Long time. That's like mid-game. That's all the mid-game stuff. The endgame stuff, it's like Uber. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about Diablo 4. Save that for another video. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I think it has a lot of potential. And people who have worked on the game, people who previously worked on the game and have left Blizzard around the time of this announcement, again, like back in 2022, they were saying really glowing things about this. Even people who had predominantly negative things to say about Blizzard in general as a company, the management, what it's like.
I think all of the Blizzard employees on average are super fanatical about every new release and say, "Oh, it's the best thing ever." I think that's a trap we should probably try to avoid.
To work for them, there was a lot of positivity around the soft reveal of Blizzard's survival MMO, and that has me alone quite excited and quite interested to see what they do. But there you go. We will see what happens.
Creepy.
Obviously, it's way too early to know what to expect one way or the other. We still don't have an official reveal. We still don't have a name. I'm always interested in what Blizzard does and always interested in at least checking it out. However long or not their games last over the long haul, they're always fun to at least play for a little while, and that's what I'm hoping for at the bare minimum from this upcoming game. But I'll keep you guys posted as more news comes out. Expect more videos. That does it for me today, though. Thank you for watching.
That's it. That's Forge Gaming. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Okay. Kind of hopeful. Kind of, a little bit timid because it's Blizzard at the end of the day. Could be good. Could be bad. Who knows? In any case, I liked it. I liked it. I'm hopeful for now, at least. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.